New verseless and Simba tags. Song is called Sorbet, or as Noxy would say, Sorbet.
Wena, you know me too well.
I know you very, very well, my darling. Welcome to it. It's the ignition till 10 o'clock. We've got a guest in the building. We're waking up with having breakfast with Noxy. Do introductions, my guy. You know better how to pronounce this.
Prosper from ASZ, and he's an actuary. I know you're wondering why I said it like that. It's because we usually say actuary, but apparently that's not how you pronounce it,
Actuary.
mate. Actuary.
Actuary. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Hi, Prosper.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good, man.
How's your Friday morning?
My Friday morning's okay. At least I'm away from doing what I normally do.
I was going to say,
What do you normally do?
Yes. Do you wake up this early on a daily basis?
Yeah, it depends, I guess. But most of the time, we are early.
Okay.
So I'm an actuary by profession.
What do actuaries do?
Actually.
Oh, okay. So we are experts in risk management. In summary, I can say we are financial prophets.
Financial profits?
Yes.
Java finance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, we quantify risk,
Uh-huh.
right? And we apply that to look at future financial outcomes.
Okay.
So, for example, insurance, we predict when you die in a way, or estimate your probability of dying this year. Yeah.
That went dark very quickly.
I know, but we are here for your darkness, Prosper.
Yeah.
And, okay. So in the event, Simba and I decided we've pulled together money.
Mm-hmm.
We can come to you and say, help us with investment opportunities.
Yes.
Like places we should go and invest.
Yes. So we can give you potential outcomes. If you do this, you may end up with X money, right? So, for example, during the time of E-Create, I think, or something like that,
Yes.
you know, those Ponzi schemes,
Yes.
I would have told you have 1,000 today. Your probability of ruin or approaching zero is equal to 1. Right? You might make money today, it goes up to 2,000, but it will go to zero because a Ponzi scheme always
crash.
collapses.
Yeah.
Right, but if you came and say 1,000, I want to put it in a stock market, I would have advised you these are the potential income you can get. Does it match your expenses? Right, because investments have to also have objectives. Right,
Yes.
so we also work in banking, for example. Right, determining how a bank can earn a profit, getting money from people, lending it out, right, profitably, and meeting the outcomes of the customers we serve. Right, we work in, for example, pensions.
Yes.
Right, if you start saving today, myself, I'm 32 years. I know I'm going to retire at 65 maybe, right? So
Okay.
what amount of money do I need to have at that time to be able to sustain my life reasonably, right? And what are the chances of me even living to 65? What are the chances of me then living to 80? Right? We normally underestimate the cost of, for example, old retirement.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are just experts at looking at a natural phenomena, right? Like death, illness, sickness, medical aid, and for example,
Yeah.
and putting a number to it so that we can compare.
What does one have to study? Because I think as a Zimbabwean, that's a very good job to be in.
It is, It is, You can
good
do.
place.
I think we are quantitative by nature,
Right.
right? So mathematics is a key component of it.
Oh, there goes my career.
You're not a mathematician.
I'm sorry.
Late.
So mathematics is key, but it doesn't matter whether you did commercials or you did sciences at A level. Myself, I did sciences, but I have quite a lot of friends that did commercials. So the mathematical aspect is key, but that is not what makes an actuary.
Okay.
An actuary is using the mathematics to then be able to communicate to your audience. So who are my audience? In some instances, the shareholder, right? The shareholder of ZiFM, I'm saying if you do this, you bringing new capex, top spec, right? Equipment and stuff, invest in your personnel and stuff. These are the potential outcomes.
Okay.
Right? So I don't need to tell them that X plus X is equal to 2X or 1 plus 1 is equal to 2.
Okay.
I just need to tell them if you do this, you get your money this way. By year 3, you get your money back. By year 4, you are here, and so on. Then they make a decision.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a culture of engaging actuaries here in Zimbabwe? Because I think a lot of people fall to Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
one
trust.
too many. But do
My guy,
we
fast
have
money
the culture?
is our thing.
I think we don't have the culture. I think it comes from various aspects. Mathematics by nature in our society is treated as, I can't say taboo, but it's viewed negatively as very difficult.
Yeah.
Right. So
Ask Noxy.
I think we need to call it mathematical literacy at a national level. It's not up where it should be.
Okay.
Right.
So, and mathematics is part of making investment decisions, because there's money, there's number. If I do this, I do this.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the engagement could be better. However, I also recognize that us as actuaries, we are also not engaging, and I guess that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
To try and then paint a picture so that a kid who is doing Form 6
Yeah.
doesn't just do medicine. I don't have a gripe with doctors. But
But everyone's trying to go there.
yes, there's actually oversupply maybe.
Yeah, that's right. We've got Prosper Matiashe, ASZ President, in the studio this morning, talking about actuaries and what they do, their importance, and maybe even find out a bit more about him as a human being in general. Stand by for the headlines.
My station, yours.
Lasisonke Lala Tuxin. 25 after 9 o'clock is your time on a 5 Friday. And we've got Prosper in the studio talking actuaries, what they do actually.
That was smart.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Your morning with fire.
All right, Prosper, we've talked about, what actuaries do, their claims to fame, etc., etc. Are you a golfer by any chance? Do you play golf?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I
How
do.
good is your golf?
Yes. How's your
It's
golf
pretty
game?
bad though.
It's bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your heart is in the right place.
But the
Yeah.
ball isn't.
Some of our wishes never become reality.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to pretend to know golf. What's your handicap?
I'm actually starting.
Okay. So I want a handicap.
So yes.
So if we go to a tournament,
We're all
are you
failing.
playing or
I'll just play.
you are there for mingling?
Yes.
Okay.
Social. What I do more is running, but
Oh, you run.
yeah, golf. I'm just going for alcohol after.
You and PD, same fanana.
Right. So,
My dude. It's my guy. It's my guy right here.
all right. So this year you guys have the ASZ convention in Nyanga. Why is it important to start this event this way?
So I think golf enables us to network.
Yeah.
And share perspectives in a relaxed mode, without really putting so much of our mathematical background. So it's a very good opportunity for us to the speakers that will be coming,
Yes.
also our sponsors, and various actuaries. So I hope one of you guys will be joining us.
Well,
PD.
PD's there
I'm
for
with
the
you.
drinks.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
do it. Please do it.
What I do.
Our theme for this year is from insight to impact, shaping a better tomorrow. What kind of insights and impacts are you hoping will come out of this gathering in Young?
I think one of our key themes this year is influencing public policy.
Okay.
And some of the things that, how can we mobilize long-term savings, right? I think we have had issues as a country, but our thrust is going forward, what is it that we are going to do to enable people to save for the long term? Why is it important? In other countries, private savings mobilized properly can fund roads.
Facts,
And
yes.
then the tolls can pay back and you earn any interest on your money. Right? So what it does, it also reduces burden on the government of, for lack of a better word, sometimes printing money.
Yes.
And inflation and all these things that we complain about. I think government can then concentrate on other social services they need.
Yeah.
Right. But what is required to be able to do that? Those are some of the things that we'll be discussing.
Yeah.
How we can also improve certain outcomes, right? Mortality is improving, right? Compared to when AIDS was at its peak in terms of deaths and so on. We've done so much as a country, but there's a bigger risk now that after retirement, people live long without any meaningful income. The problem with retirement is your health worsens. So the cost of health after retirement is significantly high. Yes, and you don't have anything. So we want also to really drive public policy around old age living in a sustainable manner. Right.
I'm going to ask what might be deemed a difficult question here, but in our country, are we able to save? Can we save? Is there a culture of saving?
No, But
Can
for
we-
a number of reasons.
Yeah, can we turn it around though? I think that's where my question was leading to. Can we turn it around? Can we get to a point where I can say Simba has saved up $20,000 in his account and happy days, Mariakebo? Can we do that in Zim right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
We need to manage trauma. Trauma is key. In any relationship which happens between us and money, if there's trauma, people are not willing to serve. So we need to provide a stable economy that enables people to then lose that trauma. Right?
Okay.
The trauma of 2008 is still there.
Yeah.
The trauma of 2019 is still there. How do we move forward is then to create, for example, something that people see. Right? If you put your money, we are building this road, Harare to Kanyemba. And these tolls are going, as people pay tolls, you get your money back. Right? With that guarantee, someone can say, I'm willing to do this. Right? But there are also certain things like buying shares. I always argue with people to say, if you buy Delta, you see the people who drink the alcohol, including yourself sometimes.
Yep.
Right? So where the money comes from, you know it. And
know
how
where it's going.
Yes.
When Delta says they've sold many hectoliters, record levels of liters of alcohol, you know this is money we are going to
cashing
get.
in on this.
Right. So these are stories we need to talk about more so that people can be able to trust. I think we are already saving. Right?
Yeah.
E-creator is a sign of saving, but it was saving in a wrong vehicle. Right. So we need to provide more vehicles for people to save in a safe manner.
Okay. All right, cool. We've got Prosper in the studio talking actuaries and what they do and the event that's going to be happening very, very soon. Stick around. More conversations happen now. My station, your station. Hugo, David Guetta, Kaylani, and our very own Dacom. Track is called Think of Me at 9:44. You're on the ignition till 10 o'clock. And we still got Prosper Matiashe, the Actuarial Society of Zimbabwe president, in the studio this morning, having a chat about what actuaries do and what they are. But of course, the most important thing at the moment is talking about golf
Convention.
and the convention that's going on in Yanga.
And well, I guess we had spoken about your theme and everything, and we just wanted to know why the work of actuaries is critical right now in Zim.
So as actuaries, we are very critical for economic growth and support. As we've said, the industries we work in, banking, insurance, and pensions, are critical for
Are these people attending the convention?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Nice.
So bankers, actuaries, accountants, most of the professions involved in these industries will be there. That's the 10th and 11th. But on the 9th, we have the golf at the Trotbeck Golf Club. Right, and for you to participate in your individual capacity, $50 only.
Okay.
If you want to sponsor a whole $200 of corporates.
And as actuaries, you must have this, man.
They have the money. I think
It's available.
Yeah. And there's the 4-ball, a team of 4, again $200. So super cheap.
Yeah.
And people can join. Yeah.
Okay, and I understand like a lot of the people that are attending this event also sit on boards around the world. How does this benefit us here in Zim?
Is to bring perspectives of how other countries have managed issues.
Ah.
So in some of the studies we've done as the local profession, countries like Argentina and Chile have experienced hyperinflation, right? And bringing people from those markets, it helps for us to understand how did they move. Simba was talking about the trauma of saving and stuff. How did those countries move forward? We have an insurance expert from Kenya. As you know, Kenya has had floods. It has had droughts. Right? And they're doing a lot of climate-based insurance, which is something we need to do. In 2024, we were hit by a big drought. And we really struggled as a country. How can we be resilient? So these people will be bringing foreign perspectives of how they've survived difficult periods in the economy and how they're thriving. Right, and we can learn from them and exchange notes. Even local, there are quite some experts. We have welcomed Mawingire, a very well-experienced investments expert. We have Sandram Sevenzo from Zimbabwe Association of Pension Funds. Right, so people who are keen to know about pension funds, where is our money, are invited to also attend. People like me, I'm also an expert, right?
Hey,
Of course
go
you are. Of
Prosper.
course you are.
Will be there. There's Carlton Murove, who is experienced with medical aid schemes in South Africa.
Okay.
And he's a Zimbabwean and will be here and will help us announce how we can improve medical aid in the country.
All right, so if a student is tuned in, or a young professional, or someone in finance maybe wants to explore actuarial work, why should they be a part of this year's ASZ convention?
For them, it's career guidance.
Okay.
With the actuaries who are already there and learn from them and be inspired.
There's a message that came in here. Hi, Prosper. P.S. We heard what you said about doctors. This one is a doctor who sent a message. Hansi, can you please give us your opinion on offshore investments?
I think personally, I'm a fan of diversification. That's how I would look at it, right? Diversify by markets, diversify by type of investment. So by markets, like if you can invest in South Africa, you can, right? I think within the banking channels, there is an official amount of money that someone can send outside the country without any invoice, right? So you can use that threshold of free funds and invest in UK, right? Personally, I've invested in South African equities, UK equities, like shares, right?
Yes.
I think it needs a bit of investment knowledge, which some of us as actuaries can also help,
Right. Yeah.
But I would definitely support diversifying so that when Zimbabwean economy is not doing well, the other countries where you are invested can cushion your performance.
Okay.
And some people were talking about St. George's the other time. Parents who envisage sending kids outside the country, UK and so on, I think you can invest in markets like those.
Okay.
So that by the time the kid goes to school, maybe you have a property in UK and the rent can pay their upkeep.
Yeah.
Right. So we call that immunization as actuaries.
Interesting. Okay.
Planning for a future expense
Yeah.
by creating a future income. When you get into that future, the income just matches the expense. You have a net. You don't have a net expense.
So you're not losing out on anything.
Yes. So I would support that.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. How do people register for this convention, my guy? Wanu and Akupi, who do they call? How do they reach out to you?
So how they can register? They can contact our administrative office on 0776 444 887 776 444 8887. Administrator at Zimbabwe Actuarial Society.org.zw. Our social media pages, Actuarial Society of Zimbabwe on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Actuarial Society of Zimbabwe, and on Facebook, it's Actuarial Society of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a free crash course on investing with Prosper after we're done with our show. If you want to reach out
we'll
to him,
touch base on Monday.
He's giving you all the LinkedIn profiles and social media handles as well for the ASZ convention going on in Nyanga. What is the date of that convention again?
10 and 11 July.
10 and 11
in
July.
2
9
weeks'
is
time.
golf.
9 is golf.
Nine
All
is
right.
golf. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Prosper, thank you so much for joining us today, my guy.
pleasure.
Hopefully we'll have you in studio again for just a brief chat. And we want
To discuss my investment opportunities.
Yes,
how
yes,
to
yes.
and why it must
And also want to encourage kids who are sharp. Right? Mathematics. It's not always engineering, it's not always accounting, it's not always medicine. There's
So-
actuarial science. It's
So
very
I have
wide.
a friend of mine who studied mathematics at university level.
Yeah.
He's a DJ. Hi, Tatenda G. I just thought it was important to share.
He's got what we call a brainiac.
I know, right?
But he's with us, other brainiacs in studio. I mean, I studied
Oh.
IT, but here
I think
am.
it's good, Do you know one of the CEOs of one of the biggest banks, I think Goldman Sachs,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
from America? He's a DJ. He plays in Ibiza. He plays.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he is.
So I also look forward to being like that one of these.
Nah,
days.
my guy, trust me, you are well on your way.
Thank you.
We'll teach you this, you'll teach us that.
All right, cheers. Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
good one.
We're out of here. It's been a real one. Have an amazing weekend.
Oh, we're making way for Joe.
Joe Nana,
Joe.
Joe Nana,
Joe.
Joe Nana,
Joe. Nana. Joe. Joe. Nana. Joe.